What's up everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the new This Season on Zwift press release that was just announced at the Zwift Community Live 2025 all the way from Mallorca. Now unfortunately I'm still at home, I'm not in Mallorca, but I will still be giving you all the details and everything you need to know about this new update and everything that's going to be coming soon over the next few months on Zwift. So diving right into the new things, we're going to first start with the new fitness tracking features in Zwift Companion, which will be going live on April 8th. With the new Zwift Companion version, and I'm not quite sure what version number that is, but that will be launching on April 8th in the iOS and Google Play Store. So, similar to how a lot of apps have fitness metrics like Garmin and Coros, you'll now be able to see your training status, fitness score, which Zwift has just implemented using their own algorithms. And Zwift is introducing a fitness trend over the last bit of time, so you'll be able to see what Zwift is recommending you do each day. It'll tell you something like you're ready for new training, which will be indicated by ready, or you're productive, which means your consistent training is helping you improve your fitness and you are recovering well. Or overreaching, which means you're training a bit too hard, and if you want to actually get those fitness gains, you've got to take some rest. And lastly, you've got detraining, which means that you are training too little and you are actually losing fitness. Now you might be thinking, why does this really matter? I only Zwift sometimes, and most of my other rides are done outside. Will those be taken into account? Well, you got the next thing that Zwift has just added. Now your outdoor rides count on Zwift, which is honestly something I never thought Zwift would actually implement, to try to keep them separate from the outdoor world. But starting now, your outdoor riding does count, and you can actually gain XP for every kilometer you ride outside. So every kilometer you ride outside is going to be 5 XP, which is 1/4 of what you would get riding indoors, so that's not a bad trade-off considering you're not actually using the app. You no longer have to open up the app on your phone while you're riding outside, like a little goofball. But you can also keep your streaks, and soon you'll be able to finish stages and various events and more, so which is pretty cool to see. So you can be like completing all these campaigns that Zwift runs over the summer from the comfort of your bike outside, and you won't need to run Zwift on a phone. You can just have it sync through Garmin Connect or Wahoo, with Hammerhead support coming soon. Now, I would love to see more connections so that you can actually have this outdoor riding count towards your riding indoors. So integrations like Coros, integrations like Polar, and all those other brands, Sunto, all the other brands out there that have a large user base. That would be great to see more integrations with that, so that everyone can really have this contributing towards their fitness score, because as a Coros user myself, this is not going to affect me at all, and my fitness score is going to not reflect what I'm actually doing outdoors, since I do a lot of running outdoors, and it would be great to see those kinds of things factor into the algorithm. However, at the moment, it's only going to be Garmin Connect and Wahoo that are going to be able to pair through the connections area, and then that will all factor towards your fitness score and also give you that extra XP and help you keep your streaks while you are riding outdoors. Now, the next thing isn't really new, since I already talked about it in my previous video about the Zwift update, and that is streak flare. So I'm just going to briefly go over this so that you all know. It's basically just a little Scotty hanging in your back pocket that you can turn on and off in the fun settings of the game settings area, and you can toggle that to on or off, and it'll just do whatever you tell it to do. But first of all, at 4 weeks of a streak, you'll get a Scotty medallion in there, and at 12 weeks, you'll get a Scotty keychain, and at 24 weeks, you'll get an animated waving Scotty, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It adds to the gamification of Zwift and gives you just a little bit more of an incentive to chase. And now that you don't have to be doing all this riding indoors, it's cool to see that your riding outdoors will also count towards these streaks. Now, the next thing, which I think is personally the biggest, is the new heads-up display refresh, which Zwift claims is live now. Riders can now lap their activities and see average power, average speed, etc. during those periods of time. So you can just click a lap screen like you normally would on something like a bike computer or a watch, and then it'll tell you those stats for that specific lap. And this is great for something like interval training. And if you're not trying to do a structured workout on Zwift, but you do want to lap your activity to see how your training really progressed throughout the ride, this is something that's probably one of the most highly requested features on Zwift. So guys, don't lose hope, Zwift is listening. So you can now see that on the left side of your screen, and you can lap using the action bar down below. And this can also be controlled through Zwift Companion, since you have the action bar in Zwift Companion too. And you also get a new critical power display on the left side, right next to where you have your laps. It'll tell you your critical power for 5 seconds, 60 seconds, 5 minutes, and 20-minute power. So that just means the max powers you hit for each of those lengths during that ride. Last thing, we've got a bunch of new fields for the customizable heads-up display, which was a huge hit when it was launched a couple months ago. And we now have power balance between left and right, average watts per kilogram, average speed, weighted power, and body temperature and heat strain index. And heat strain index and body temperature, you're probably wondering how Zwift is getting these metrics, but it's because of a new integration with the core body temp sensor, and not a lot of you probably have that, so I don't really know why Zwift put so much into this new integration. I feel like it would have been nicer to see something like draft indicators or power saved by the draft. Those are cool things that Sauce for Zwift gives you, but Zwift is still yet to deliver. Now, a couple of days ago, I put out a vote to see what you all think Zwift was going to announce at this press release, and a lot of you said that there would be new roads, and you would be exactly right. We've got a new France expansion coming on April 7th, and as long as you have version 1.87, you can access these roads on April 7th, and we're going to have 8 new routes coming in France with cobbled sectors, all to emulate the feel of the Paris-Roubaix, which means we're going to have a lot of cool riding on the road, and we're going to have some fun cobbles to tackle, just like the pros in real life, and we're going to have several campaigns running on Zwift, so that you can all really just get the feel of the pro environment and everything like that. So great to see some new roads on Zwift, and France needs some love, so it's cool to see that. Speaking of love for France, we've got even more stuff for France, which I've already mentioned in my other video, but I'll briefly mention it again. And we're going to be talking about the new sectors on Ventop and the new spinning wheel. So Ventop now gets sectors, so it's going to be like the grade or like Alpe d'Huez, where it's going to sectorize each different section into 10 different sections, and this will help you sort of pace the climb to see how you're progressing through the climb. And we've also got a new spinning wheel at the top, which is great to see because everyone should be rewarded for climbing such a big climb, and I think that this should even be a bigger spinning wheel than the Alpe d'Huez spinning wheel, or at least a different one so you get different prizes, but that's just me. Alright, so the last thing that we have here is new crank lengths on Zwift Ride. Now, this is one of the biggest requests for the Zwift Ride smart frame, was that the current one only has one set crank length at 170 millimeters, and one size does not fit all. So Zwift is now launching a new crank that you can add to the Zwift Ride, and it's going to be a little hard to replace this for the vast majority of people. You need the right tools. So Zwift recommends that you bring it to a bike shop in order to have them replace it. But you're going to have a 5 different crank length option here: 160 millimeters, 165, 170, 172.5, and 175. And this sort of follows the same bear claw look as the other trainers or the other smart bikes out there, like the Elite Square or the Wahoo Kicker bike. Those just have a bunch of different holes, and you screw it in wherever you need. And this makes the bike even more versatile. And it's available for purchase now, starting April 16th for $100 US. Now, that's just about everything I have in this video. There's not much else that was announced in this new press release, and I have the feeling we've got a little bit more coming on its way. So stay tuned for more Zwift news, and let me know what you think of this season on Zwift. Was it everything you expected? What else do you want from Zwift? Let me know. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and with that, thank you all for watching, and ride on.